Right, good. We're on to our 10 weird pubs of the world. So here we go. At top 10, number 10 is a place called Casa Pocho in Spain. The reason it's a pretty normal bar, but the reason it's included on our list is that you get free drinks if you insult the manager in a way that he's never heard before. So it's actually encouraged for you to go up and throw some insults at the manager there, which sounds like a fun thing to do. He apparently started it because of all the problems in Spain with the economy and things, and he wanted to give people a bit of an outlet, which is very nice. The Hobbit House in Manila, Philippines. It's called the Hobbit House not because it looks like it's from the Shire, but rather because it's an ordinary bar served exclusively by dwarves. All of the staff are dwarves, which is pretty awesome. I think it's perhaps not politically correct to call it the Hobbit House, but there you are. That's what exists. Right, there's the El Malacate Discotheque in Zacatecas in Mexico. Now, Zacatecas in Mexico is a great place to drink. They've got this tradition they call the Calajonera Zacatecana, I think, if I remember correctly, which involves like drinking your way from pub to pub, following a guy who's got a mezcal-laden donkey and a drum and horns, and you basically you play musical instruments as you wander through the alleyways and stop at every single bar, getting steadily drunker and drunker and drunker until eventually the mezcal-laden donkey looks attractive. But one of the lesser-known attractions at Zacatecas in Mexico is the El Malacate Discotheque, which is situated at the bottom of a silver mine, of an abandoned silver mine. And you take a really long mine shaft trip down to get into this discotheque, and then it's a world-class club. You know, they've got a full dance floor and a bar and everything else, but the walls are still the old rough-hewn silver mine walls, which is incredibly interesting. Because it used to be a mine, you can also apparently take a tour through the old mine facilities, but I think it's the bar that you're really kind of going for. Number 7 is a place called Floyd's Pelican Bar, which sits about a kilometer south of Jamaica. It's actually just out in the middle of the sea. It's built out of driftwood and palms and things, and stands on stilts on a silt ledge, just out in the middle of the ocean. It doesn't look like very much, but you catch a water taxi out there. You can drink all day, you can scuba dive, you can suntan, and you can eat, lobster for almost nothing. So it's not a weird bar, but it's a pretty awesome one as far as I'm concerned. Number 6 is in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in America. It's called Donnie Dirk's Zombie Den. Right, it's basically a 1950s Las Vegas lounge, but everywhere there's tiny little additions that zombie fans will love. Everything from glass cases that read "in case of zombie attack, break the glass," and inside there's various types of weapons, to taxidermied zombie heads and memorabilia from movies, and it's basically just decked out in everything zombie. I mean, even the bartenders are dressed like Shaun from that movie Shaun of the Dead, in the white button-up shirt and the red tie covered in bloodstains. Yeah, it's a classy zombie joint. They also make incredible cocktails. Number 5 is a local one. It's called the Baobab Bar. It's in Limpopo. Apparently, a family called the Van Heerdens discovered a 6,000-year-old baobab on their property and decided, to open a pub up inside of it, like you do. It's 75 meters high, and inside of this tree, you can fit about 40 people in this little pub. It's a totally unique experience because inside it's actually really cool, whereas outside it's baking hot. Inside it's cool, nice, perfect drinking kind of facility for the locals and for tourists. Number 4 is a place called the Eternity Bar. It's in Ukraine, so possibly don't venture there now. Certainly not in an aeroplane. It's called the Eternity Bar because it's shaped like a giant coffin, and inside they've decorated it with coffins and wreaths and black wall hangings, and it basically looks like you're inside a funeral home. I'm not exactly sure why you would go and drink there, but tastes for everyone, I suppose. I don't know. At number 3 is a place that's actually, believe it or not, become a chain store around Asia, but the original one was in Taiwan. It's called Modern Toilet. Modern Toilet is a bathroom-themed restaurant and chain and bar, which was founded in Taiwan, as I said. It's now spread around, but the original one in Taiwan is 260 square meters, 3 stories high. You sit at tables that look like bathroom counters. You sit on unused toilets. Your food is served in miniature toilets. Your drinks are served in little urinals. I'm not sure why this is so popular that it has become a chain, but then again, Spur exists, so why not? It says apparently Modern Toilet's big success, the thing that led to it going global from Taiwan was the fact that he sold swirls of ice cream in miniature toilets, and this people just thought was hilarious. No accounting for taste, I suppose. At number 2 is a place called the Disaster Cafe in Lloret de Mar in Spain. It's called Disaster Cafe because that's exactly what it is. You go there to experience a 7.8 on the Richter scale earthquake every now and then while you're drinking, while you're eating your meal. I'm not exactly sure why people would pay good money, but this thing is booked out months in advance. So if you want to go there, you have to make sure that you book your tables. It's got amazing online reviews. You can actually go onto YouTube and watch videos people have taken as the earthquake hits. It's not a small earthquake. It's not kidding around. At number 1, the weirdest place to have a beer is McDonald's. No, obviously I'm just kidding. The weirdest place to have a drink is a place called Alcatraz ER in Tokyo. Alcatraz is a bit of a nightmare escape of a horror movie prison asylum. It's decorated like a jail with various prison cubicles that get closed off with sliding jail doors. And all the food is themed prison-wise. The waiters and waitresses are dressed like psychotic nurses. And everything from the walls, the uniforms, to the menus, they're all smeared in kind of fake blood and graffiti. Basically, yeah, imagine a horror movie asylum. That's what this place is like. The lighting's kind of an eerie, flickering ambulance red, and you're greeted at the door by a decapitated nurse before you're handcuffed and led to your booth. But none of this can prepare anybody for the show that they put on. The show is very similar to when the waiters come over and they sing you the Spur song for your birthday. People get it ordered for their friends on their birthdays, on their engagements, on their new job announcement, whatever. But I've got here a description somebody's put down on their blog to describe the show, because I can't get it exactly right for you. Yeah. He says, in life, there are some things you can prepare for. This wasn't one of them. The lights went out and a piercing siren went off. Torches came from along the corridors and then a screaming running towards us. It was a man in a clown mask, dressed in a boiler suit, wielding a plastic axe. He hit my leg several times with it and ran off. I was screaming madly at this point, assuming there would have been no touching policy in this place, but no. I thought it was all over, but God, I was wrong. Along came a stretcher, and they dragged a salary man, that's just a regular guy in a suit, onto it screaming. He was tied to its wooden sides and transported to a bar table. Here our decapitated nurse brought up an object from behind the table, a dildo, by which point the salary man had been gagged, so no screams could convey his horror, only his eyes. The nurse passed the instrument to the clown, who came close and undid his shirt. Slowly he pressed the dildo up the worker's face, all the while wrestling himself free. Suddenly the clown withdrew and the sirens intensified. The nurses returned and this time was wielding a gigantic papier-mâché syringe, which she proceeded to sodomize the salary man with. Afterwards, he was delighted. I was shaken. A large siren went off, the normal red dingy lights came back on, and it was all over. So yeah, if that sounds like your kind of idea for the perfect drinking establishment, you drink everything out of various limbs, the glass is all shaped like organs. Yeah, it's bizarre. Totally strange. And apparently the weirdest thing about it is that it's situated in a very normal office block. You kind of catch a normal office block elevator up to this rather strange bar.
Balls.co.za. Visual Radio.